Loving God, we know that you are here with us. May we have the courage to follow Jesus' ways. Amen. Hi, friends. You see I'm holding some words: welcome, love, share, help, hug. I want you to think about these words and think about ways that you could communicate these words. That means ways that you can help people know that you are welcoming them, loving them, sharing with them, helping them, hugging them, without really touching them, without using words, but in using your actions. Actions that don't put you in direct contact with other people. Think about that as we go through our story today. I'm here in McNaughton Hall, our Sunday school building and classroom, and I'm sitting on a rug that has all the symbols that are important in our faith tradition. There's the word peace and hope and love and faith. There's a chalice and the bread representing communion. There's the ichthus, a big one here on the rug in the center and one over in the corner. And if many of you might have seen the video from last week where ichthus was on the ground, signifying that this is a place where followers of Jesus gather. Our story today comes from our Bible book and from the book that's called Acts of the Apostles. An apostle is the disciples, the people who were the first to see. Apostle. And one of these apostles, one of the first Christians that we have a story about today, his name is Stephen. And Stephen is what we call a deacon. And in our church, and in church traditions, the deacons are the helping hands of the church. And that's why you see I have tons of helping hands here in the center of the rug and our ichthus. Listen now to the story of Stephen that is based on the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 6, verses 3 to 13, and chapter 7, verses 51 to 60. Hear now these words. After Jesus wasn't with them anymore, his followers and friends began meeting together. They gathered in each other's homes to remember Jesus' teachings, to pray, and to eat meals together. They were always ready to lend a helping hand to those who needed help. This was the beginning of the first Christian church. Soon more and more people came to find out about Jesus. More and more people wanted to learn how to live in the way that Jesus taught. The church leaders realized that they needed more people to tell the story about Jesus and say the prayers. They needed more people to care for all those who needed help. So they needed many, many hands. So they asked some of Jesus' followers to be part of a special group of leaders called deacons. They chose people who were full of faith and God's Spirit. One of those people was named Stephen. When people were sick, Stephen cared for them. Helping hands. When people were hungry, Stephen took them food. When people didn't have enough to wear, Stephen gave them some clothes. When people were very poor, Stephen would give them some money. And when people were lonely, Stephen visited them. Stephen told everyone he met about Jesus. And that's our job, friends. Many hands. We all have them, too, right? And when we put our hands together, we too can be like Stephen. Stephen, who had a helping hand for those who were hungry, a helping hand for those who needed clothing, a helping hand for those who were alone. Stephen was there, a helping hand when people are sick. That's us, extending helping hands everywhere. So my challenge to you this week is to think about the many ways that you are part of this church community that extends a helping hand to those in need. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Be a helping